7 o'clock in the morning. We're heading out for cod fishing.
You put this thing on a camera,
You
go from being tourist to like professional.
Yeah, I know.
People will let you go anywhere you want.
It's all about impression.
It is. It does.
And if you add stabilizer, you're a TV quality guy.
If I had the stabilizer on here, people would let me into their house and take their stuff. I'm not actually recording. I'm just looking cool.
Okay.
I told Alex, be ready at 6. He was like, can we make it 7? We said 6:30. We're still leaving at 7.
But that's the plan, right? You tell someone an hour earlier, so you'll be out by 7.
It's true.
The very famous trained Chatham dolphin.
Jump.
3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if there's a sound.
The first fish of the day. You got one? No, I'll pick it up. So we came out here. It is December 5th. We had a rumor there's a whole bunch of codfish out here, so we came out to go cod fishing. So far, I've caught 2 sea perch. Andrew caught a herring, and Alex just dropped out his jig, and now he's like, "What is this?" And he's caught the first codfish of the day. So pretty excited about that.
Obviously, that will be a trip about cod fishing.
Yes, today this is Cape Cod codfish, or I don't know. We'll give it some name. But there it is. He's like.
There we are.
Ta-da!
This is a Cape Cod cod, right?
Cape Cod cod, yep. We're gonna go home, make some fish and chips. So that's the beginning of our, oh, we got stuff on the bottom here.
Okay.
It's the beginning of our video. We're jigging, we're in about 99 feet of water. About 99 feet.
All right.
We just saw a pot.
Cod fishing.
Yeah, we were cod fishing and catching nothing because we can't find the codfish that are everywhere. We heard they were everywhere, and they're not everywhere. They're around, but that's about it. But then we just saw a pod of whales, which now we can't find them either. They were just right here. The nightly news. All right, we just got some numbers from a friend of ours, so we are gonna program those numbers in since we've had no luck finding the fish on our own, and we're gonna head out that direction. Fingers crossed. We saw some whales. They're actually just behind me right now, that direction, but we're going to film those, then they disappeared on us. So, oh, there are more whales that way, towards those boats behind us there. So, all right, we're going to head up, try and figure out what these numbers are, and then get there, fill the boat, and then head home. Here we are now, 4.5 hours later, and the sound goes out. No microphone, no sound. And we are catching what would turn out to be the second codfish of the day and the end of the cod fishing for the day. However, that is 3 species for me, which makes me the top hook for the day: codfish, herring, and a sea raven. But again, sound out, so there's no sound at this point, but a short codfish which had to go back over the side.
So we've been out here now, we've been out here 4.5 hours. the intel that we had, it was a great cod fishing, that they were really loaded up, turns out to be not accurate in any way, shape, or form. Andrew's got one small codfish. Alex caught a legal codfish, and I brought along special gloves because I thought we were going to catch so many fish, those cut-proof guts, so when I was gutting them, I wouldn't cut myself. Because we only had one fish, and I'm like, well, I should gut that fish, put it on ice. Of course, for one fish, I didn't put on the, I didn't put on the, yeah, I didn't put on the cut-proof gloves because it was only one fish, and sure enough, cut my finger. So we're here, we're basically gonna drift and dream for the next hour, and whatever comes up, we'll get some video of it. We had dolphins, we've had a great day as far as, what do we want to call it?
Better than being on
Wildlife watching. But other than that, it has been, as far as fishing goes, it has been terrible. Never, ever, ever trust the rumor mill. When the rumor mill tells you the cod are jumping in the boat or what fish are doing, just don't believe it. Don't believe it at all. Yeah, it is. No. Yeah, we just the fuel filter popped off, and now we've lost. And now and we got, so we either got water in the fuel. So we are becalmed, shall we say? We're about 4 or 5 miles offshore. I made a couple phone calls though, so. Everything is content. Yeah, so here is, so we came out on our thing, everything, the day has gone from like high hopes and then all of a sudden while we were there jigging, the engine like sputtered once and we were like, what the hell is that? Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. I think I see you're about 4 miles or 2 miles below me right now.
Is that you straight ahead of me?
Yeah, that's me.
Alright, I'll be there.
I'm under power right now.
Alright, well, I'll just stay around you. I'll head in the south way anyways, I'm already past the north.
Alright, I got Andy just priming it. I'm leaking fuel like a bastard, but he's just squeezing the ball the whole time, you know?
Yeah,
yeah, thanks for shadowing me. When we get inside, we'll talk if we make it that far.
Yeah, it's all good.
Thanks, man.
Alright, later. Yeah.
Hey, I made it in.
Yeah, I saw you go over the bar, so I turned around, and I was close to the north cut to the south cut, so.
All right, I'll swing by. I don't want to lose prime, so I'm going to try and make it back to Barno. I'll swing by your house. What do I owe you?
Oh, you're over now. It's all good, man. It's all good.
You sure?
Same for me.
Oh yeah, we at least have some fish to cook. But that was yeah. Any other time of year, we would have. But to have somebody shadow us in case things went sideways, that was awesome. I'll have to pick up some beer or something for Eric and give him some money for fuel. What happened?
Don't start it now, there's nothing you can do.
I see that. Everything is. Everything is content, baby. Go! Okay, so if we make it this way, we're good. Our last big hurdle is getting across the channel. If we get across the channel, we're golden. We're almost home. And Andy's got a dentist appointment at 2 o'clock, so we gotta work against the clock.
Only a couple hundred yards short of the channel, we broke down again. So we resort to pulling the boat now. Closer, closer every time.
We pulled the boat most of the way. Now it's set for a while, so now she primed up again. Now we are just gonna roast down the channel, hopefully. Then we'll be back in the driveway. Andy will make his dentist appointment. We'll cook some fish and chips. With our
That'll be a video.
That'll be some great content. You'll see the survival skills of the Scumbria crew.
Should we give it? What's the next thing?
Come on, baby! We got like 600 yards. If we can just keep her primed for another 600 yards, we'll be at the boat ramp. So considering when this whole thing went down, we were about 5.5, 6 miles offshore when we had our first problem. Luckily, we had friends that were backing us up if it all went to crap. But we made it in. It gives you that feeling of you can do it. Until one day you can't.
You can't.
All right, we made it. Group hug. Group hug. Yeah. Anytime you come back from when you have boating troubles, there's two things we say: group hug, and Andy, what do we say? Take that, Poseidon.
Take that, Poseidon.
Ha ha. Almost. Fiddlehead, give us free beer. All right, I always say all right. We are back from our disastrous cod adventure safely, so as bad as it was, we're all happy to be home and happy that we had friends that helped us out. I'm gonna fillet Alex's cod for you guys. I know you've seen people fillet fish, so you can fast forward a little, and then I'm gonna show you something kind of cool. So let me just fillet the fish first. Some of you people are wondering if this is a legal fish. I actually have a commercial inshore fish permit. So it would only had to be 19 inches, but this one is right on the dot 22 inches. So it's legal on 2 accounts. I think legal 22 inches is the recreational thing, and I'm going to see if I can get as much as possible off of it. And we had high hopes of catching lots of cod today, but as you saw in the video, it just didn't work out that way.
You think you're doing a great job?
I'm doing the best I can with the talents God gave me. And this knife. If only we knew someone who had a connection with a good knife company, like Danco or something.
Like starting with, I was just about to say, starting with D.
Yeah, like Danco knives or something, then we could get sponsored. That'd be fantastic. But in the meantime, I'm going to use this cheap bait store knife. And I'm doing I actually think I'm doing a really good job because we only have one fish. It's easy to take your time when you only have one fish. When you got a cooler full of fish, ugh. Not to mention I'm going to have to stretch this fish because it's the only one we caught, right?
It's the only one we kept, you're right.
You're right, we did catch a small one.
All right, that's fillet one.
Fillet one. And now, maybe shut the camera off because there's two sides to a fish. Mm-hmm. And I am terrible at this side. The other side is my better. I'm not even that good at the other. Even though I was a charter captain for years.
I'll show you the face of this. It's a weird face, like you said earlier. It has like, I don't know, has a little beard or something.
It does. This little. That's what he feels on the bottom for, like, I don't know, maybe in the dark.
You see that
If we caught more cod, then I would have done some more natural history commentary for it. But because we just got the one, we'll just cut it.
When you cut the fillet, it looks like trout fillet, like you know the
Oh, the pattern?
the patterns, yeah. Isn't
Pattern
it?
is, yeah, it's similar, but the flesh or the meat
Oh yeah,
is so much better.
oh yes, not comparable.
Trout is disgusting.
Although we did trout fishing video, we did smoke the trout, right?
Yeah, and you don't have to wear gloves like this. The reason I'm wearing these gloves is, if you've watched the video, you'll see that I cut myself when I was gutting this thing like a moron. There, I got both the fillets.
Just like in the store.
I don't know about that. Now, I'm going to lop off the head here and show you something kind of cool. Well, I'm going to pretend, if only if I had a really good knife, like say,
Danko
a Danko. And we're just going to skin it. Codfish skin is really, you can really pull on it. It never rips, which is nice. And then I came up. Yeah, let's not watch that part. A little miss there.
Well, if you would only have what kind of knife?
A Danko knife. Only I knew someone who knew the people at Danko.
So knife just like this, only a Danko knife.
Yeah, this is a junkie. All right, now come around here, Alex, to my side. I'm going to show you something. To anyone, hold on one sec. The big complaint about codfish is that it's a bottom fish, and because of that, it gets worms. So if you look, see in the fillet there? See that right there?
Wait. It's not that easy.
I know, I bet it isn't. You see that little thing there? In the fillet?
Where? On the bottom?
No, right where my finger is. You see that right there?
Oh yeah.
You see that right there? So bring it down here. I'm going to take the knife. It's harder. And here is one. Pulled him out. That's a worm. And then right here, there's another one. Picked him out. See that?
Don't move. But it's a worm.
It is a worm. And you're probably thinking, if I, see how I hold it up to the light and you kind of look through, you see that little, there's a dark spot, I don't know if you can see it, right there. See that?
No, not yet.
Right by my fingertip, you can see that worm there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to take the knife. So in a
Ideal world.
no, in a cod, like a fish market. So you're like, oh, I would never eat that. If you've eaten cod with worms in it. They have, I don't know if you've ever worked in a dark room, they have a light table, you know, like a piece of opaque plexiglass with a bright light, and they lay the fillets on, and they do just what I'm doing. So they lay it on that, but I just hold it up to a light in the kitchen. Oh, there's a little wormy worm there. Sometimes, especially if you get these near-shore fish, the ones that have been around all summer in the warm water, sometimes they are so wormy. But that one there, you only had, what was that? Oh, there's a little worm right there. And I know this is, for some of you, this is like, oh, that's disgusting, but I hate to break it to you.
Well, this is a reality.
If you've eaten codfish, it's had worms in it. Now, the thing I don't know, to be honest with you, do they pick the worms out like I'm doing right now just because, it's always nice to find half a worm. Do they pick the worms out just because the idea of having fish with worms in it? So that's a nice worm-free fillet. Turn it around. There might be one right there.
So what do? They just freeze it and they hope they'll die? The worms
No, they
will
lay
die?
it on that light. You know what a light table is?
I'm saying, like, what's the other option when they bring it to the store? They
There
freeze
isn't.
them.
No. And that's what I don't know, like,
All right, goodbye, codfish.
well, I don't know if you put a codfish in the oven, right? And you cook it at 350, you bake it and stuff. Does that kill the worm? Do people take the worms out just because if you get a piece of fish from the market and it has a worm in it, it's just the grossest thing you've ever seen, you know, and no one wants to eat something with a worm in it, or the reason you take the worms out is they are 100% detrimental to the human body. Like even if they're cooked, you can get worms from it. So like not like, you know, like trichinosis, that's worms. Oh, here's a good one. Look at this guy here. Come here.
I can see it from there.
He's all curled up like a donut. I keep forgetting I'm mic'd. I hope I'm not screaming at you people, but so I don't really know the thing. And the funny part is, the other things like fluke, flounder, once in a while, sea bass, you'll find a few worms in it. But cod, because it's such a bottom grubbing creature, I guess, is always super, you know. And sometimes you'll get, I've got ones where there's so many worms in it, it's just gross. It's hard, even if you pick them out, you keep thinking, that had worms in it, you know?
So when you have a full cooler of codfish, you just go through each one of them like this?
If I'm going to cook, yeah, cook it, yeah, I go right through and
If I'm going to cook it, yeah. If I'll give it to
if I'm
friends,
going to give it to
no.
friends, no, I just let them deal. And this is something that's kind of funny too. If you take a codfish fillet like this and you lay it in the refrigerator, the next morning the worms tend to work to the top of the fillet and you can just pick them off. But I'd rather pick them out now because I just think it's gross. But like I said, I don't even know if I don't know if that worm, if you ate it like right now, would your stomach acid dissolve it? Would you get worms? I don't know.
So do you think we should get one from the store and just see if it has some, or compare?
The
Yeah,
ones from
sorry.
the store, they put them on that light table and they pick them all out. Because I even know a friend of mine as a kid, when we were both kids, he worked for his father's fish market, and his job was just to take the fillets and just pick out the worms. Like he was the official worm picker, which is gross, and I don't think most of society knows about it, and that's why no one has a problem with it, but what are you gonna do? All right, now I'm gonna show you something else that's cool. This is the codfish's head, and codfish have otoliths in their head. I think all fish have otoliths. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm gonna have to split the skull and try not to break the otoliths. And from what I understand, that there's like 3 animals in the wild that have.
Oh, you broke it.
I broke the thing there. They actually have. I'll show you. I wonder if this is going to be something that's not approved on
Who cares?
YouTube.
You can get demonetized if you're...
If you're not monetized. All right, so now we're inside the brain of this cod. See this little cavity right here?
Yeah.
If you go inside this cavity somewhere, where are you? Don't make a liar out of me.
All right, Jeffrey.
I know, I'm feeling a little creepy right now. Somewhere, there's fluid inside of the codfish's head here, and this little otolith, where in the heck is it? There she is. See that right there? That's the otolith that's inside the cod. And from what I've been told, now I don't know if it's true or not, there's only 4 animals that produce true ivory. And codfish, otolith is ivory. So elephants, hippopotamuses, walruses, and codfish have ivory. So that's codfish ivory. And I thought I'd take the otoliths out for this, like on a really, these are tiny cods.
Dude, you really need a good knife. I could keep thinking where you can get one.
If I only knew where I could get a better knife. But
Maybe some of our people, you know, some of our audience knows anybody.
here we go. And here's the second. See right there? In that little fluid sac?
Yeah.
There's the otolith. And that is supposedly, from what I've always been brought up, that is pure, true ivory. And I met a guy one time who would take codfish otoliths like this, grind them up, mix them with epoxy, and then carve little ivory things out of it. Codfish ivory charms and stuff. But this is Alex's first codfish. And believe it or not, the first codfish I ever caught was much bigger. I have the ivories upstairs in a drawer. So there's your ivories from your first codfish.
Should I put in my necklace?
You can make earrings out of them. You can do whatever you want. Just send them home to your parents. They can use them.
What would they have it? Like for what?
I don't know. Why the otoliths are in there? In the fish, you mean?
Yeah.
The reason they're in there, it floats in that jelly inside that little hole that I showed you. See this little hole in here? And if the fish is, if it lays here, then he knows he's upside down or right side up.
Just like a tail for the cat.
I don't know if that's true or not. So,
I'm making statements. So
supposedly, though, if they dissected a codfish while he was alive. They cut it. They put little pieces of metal on the otoliths, and then they put a magnet under his chin. No, on the top of his head, so the otoliths touched the back of his head, so then he swum around upside down. So supposedly the otoliths sit in that fluid, and wherever it touches, that's how he knows he's right side up or upside down. I don't know. Now that may be completely wrong. If you're a marine biologist, please put in the comments. As I grew up as a kid, my great uncle told me that, and so I've always believed that, whether or not it's true. So if you're watching this, don't go walking around at cocktail parties repeating things I say. But there's your fun natural history of codfish.
Well, the truth is, you didn't read it in some like weird social media platform conspiracy theoristic group. So it's been passed from generations.
From generation to generation of make believe.
Which is spreading conspiracy theories.
Basically.
All right, that looks nice. All right, so what's the next step?
I remember I had these little jars that I was going to do a craft project with a few years ago. So Alex is like, where am I going to put these? So I got these little jars that I had around. Oh, come on. And there, put it in with a little stopper. And there, Alex has forever in this little jar.
Hold on. I have a better idea. Put it somewhere so we can see it. So what do you think people should leave in the comments so we can send this out?
Oh, you can't give away your first codfish ivory. These are your first ivories. This is not to be negative. There is a good chance the way the harvest of codfish is, in our lifetime, cod could become extinct. And you're going to say, this is for my first fish.
Okay, I'll keep it.
I found these little jars. I bought these to put whale oil in. That's a long story for another video.
All right, thank you, man.
There you go. Alex's first cod ivories, right in this little jar. Boy, Scumbria just has an unlimited amount of crap in my house that we can do. All right, next thing we'll see you, we're cooking it up.
So while Matt is preparing everything, everything to cook the fish, Andy's doing what?
These are the roe sacks that were in that fish, cod roe. So I don't think you can buy it anywhere. I think you have to get your own or know a cod fisherman.
Was this gonna be our beer snack?
Yeah, kind of, sure. It's like shad roe, like herring roe. It's like all fish roe. It all is the same, but I like to cook it, a little butter, and then once it gets a little brown and crispy on one side, then you can flip it over. But you gotta wait till it browns up. Then flip it over, and if you have to, cut it in half or open it up and then brown the inside too, because otherwise it's just a little bit fishy.
Salt and pepper or nothing?
Maybe a little salt, but butter and salt, that's about it. That's the end of it.
That's it.
That's
Very
it.
simple recipe from Andrew Swenson.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
Nobody can hear you.
I'll get closer so you can hear it. You got a thing where you're like
Really close.
I'm close. Cod roe is like a... Here we go. There we go. Ready? This is the Matt Swenson thing. Cod roe is like a waste not, want not thing. It's very similar though to like when you shoot a deer and like people are like, you gotta eat the heart and you gotta eat the liver. And like when you catch a codfish that has roe, you gotta eat it, but sometimes you're like, So we'll see how you
if you catch a lot of cod and have a lot of roe, you're gonna have to eat it all. You just eat some. You don't have to eat all of it. But it's a good thing. I like roe.
At least it's fried, not like...
Woo, that's hot.
It's a little Cape Cod caviar. Cod caviar. The 3 C's.
We could start that.
What's up? We need another C word. Curious? No.
Crazy?
Curious doesn't work. Crazy.
Crispy?
Crispy Cape Cod caviar. I forget that I'm...
What's the next step?
I'm just doing, you've seen me make this on striped bass. It's just little breadcrumbs. Here.
You apply the same recipe to everything, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
If it's, is that butter?
Butter.
If it's meat, I put salt and pepper on it, fry it in butter. If it's fish, I put Ritz crackers on with butter and lemon. If it's clams,
The same.
say yeah, basically with some bacon.
Bacon.
Yeah, for
Oh,
like
chowder? Ah.
I'm a one-trick pony. I cook everything the same. I
What
rarely
kind of
get
pony are you?
one trick.
One trick pony.
What'd you think I said?
Trip.
I'm
And then you just fall over. I do one trip and then
I'm a
it's
one-trick
over.
pony. The only thing that we're doing that some people will hate us for or comment is I'm using lemon from a jar, not a real lemon, because
We don't
I
have
don't
it.
have a real lemon. You've seen this in a million other Scumbria videos.
Oh.
You've probably seen me grind pepper like this when I make delicious eider duck pate or oysters on the half shell or
Yeah, that's what it's actually. Thank you.
You hear that?
ooh, snap, crackle,
That's a
pop.
snappy sound of.
We're actually planning to do duck hunting, but before that, Matt can get. What is it, really? It's not that we can't even get a deer this year.
Really? We are doing some duck hunting videos, but right now we're focusing on trying to shoot a deer because Andrew got a deer, Ethan got a deer, and I have not got one, and people are giving me a lot of crap about it. So this year, anyway, enough. If we use this footage and you don't use my amazing bumblebee tuna lemon pepper review, I'm going to be upset.
Oh, we'll use it.
Very similar ingredients to this recipe now.
Double checking.
Double checking for the worms.
Well, if you leave codfish overnight in the fridge, the next day a lot of times they've crawled out of the fillet.
And there is a little worm. We missed him earlier.
Wormy.
Did you guys put a picture of silver?
I don't know. Someone.
I wouldn't take a risk.
What we need is we need a marine biologist on the Scumbria team. So if you are a marine biologist, unemployed, and want to hang out with us and become part of the Scumbria team, send a resume to Scumbria. There's no compensation, absolutely no benefits, but you'll have the enjoyment of hanging out with us all the time.
Of the Scumbria crew. Yeah.
You'll be
That's the benefit.
The only problem is that you won't be very useful to us when we're doing things on dry land. You'll have to like tie it in. Like, sometimes deer driving is a lot like the mating process of catfish.
And so everything about catfish.
I guess a marine biologist doesn't even study catfish. Saltwater catfish.
That's one of my pet peeves. When they have seafood on a menu and catfish is included, along with crawfish. Not seafood.
I mean, I'm making
Just tell them, once you're going to cover this, you wouldn't make a difference from the sea bass or
No.
bass.
Well, I need a lot of the breading because we have very little fish.
Oh, you missed that. Flip that stuff right over. Amazing.
Now, normally we would serve this with like rice pilaf and a salad, but no, tonight we're just having fish and monkey lungs. All right, I'm just gonna put that fish in the oven at 350 for like 30 minutes as soon as the oven preheats, and then the next thing you'll see is us eating fish. And right now, Andy and Alex are gonna be eating this cod roe while Matt goes in the other room and does anything else.
Matt, that's wasteful. There it is. Mmm.
You really plated it nicely.
Yeah. Have some.
No, that's okay. I don't want to get in on this. Alex caught the fish. He should eat some more of it.
I'm good.
You have to try it.
I tried it, I think, before.
You did not.
You did have the shad roe. Here you go, Alex.
Smells like butter.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I would totally eat it with beer. like 100%. It's not. It doesn't have weird smell like the shad.
You thought that had a weird smell to you?
I thought so, yeah. And then we tried. What's the caviar we tried last year? Smoker fish.
Suckerfish?
Suckerfish.
That was
smoker.
terrible.
Very bad. You can watch the video. The video was good.
It was a good video.
This suckerfish was
Good video,
no
bad
good.
caviar.
so not bad.
luckily
Taking
wasn't
my
there.
words back. I think it's good.
I wasn't there for the sucker.
Thank you. I'm more excited about codfish too.
This failed cod fishing video breakdown cooking. We are making a meal out of it. We did a fillet job. Now we're gonna cook it. We are really making a meal out of this video. So if you appreciate that, put a comment and say, I like how you guys can take nothing and stretch it into something. Anyhow, the fish is done. Oh, did you want me to take it out slowly?
No, it's
Would you
good.
like more of a flourish? Like,
I know. We don't have to stretch it more than we already stretch it.
there's the cod. Looks good. The crumble. I know what you're all wondering. Is this going to be as good as the Bumblebee tuna review? We'll see.
It's a referral to our deer hunting video.
Oh, they'll already have seen that before we post
Yeah,
this.
they should have.
And if they haven't seen it, then they need to unsubscribe. We don't want them on our channel.
The other video first.
If they're not watching every inane
You don't
thing
seem
we put
like
out.
you don't seem you encouraging people to subscribe, but you do encourage them to unsubscribe.
Well, if you don't love everything we do, unsubscribe immediately.
I wouldn't be so confident.
You're either a fan or unsubscribe.
Well, one thing I'll tell you, we'll keep doing it until you guys gonna like us, or get used to us. So you'll feel you'll think you'll like
All
us.
right, Andrew, is there a mic on Alex? Take the camera, let him try his fish. Oh, I get to do it.
You get to.
All right. Here is Alex,
No
cameraman.
worms. No worms.
No worms. He will now try his first codfish. Then he will, after that, give us a little like and subscribe action, and then we'll do a sign off, and that will be the end of probably one of the more interesting videos you've ever seen.
It was definitely an eventful day.
It was.
You can.
We're a little punchy right now because we're tired.
That is so good.
Can you not put your elbows on the table? You have more class than that. There
Yes.
you go. Okay.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna say. It's very tender and very juicy, and I like it. What I don't like, it's not enough lemon, because someone used
The wrong kind of lemon.
the wrong kind of lemon. If you
I'll give a spritz of lemon right in your eye.
if you add a little lemon to it, it will be, I would say, 10 out of 10. It's really good. You should try it.
I will.
Film you.
So let's just ask you: is this the first? Well, yeah. This fish was literally in the ocean
Last night. He
last
was
night.
going to
Yeah,
sleep
yeah,
in the ocean.
This time last night, it was in the ocean. So, was it the best fish you've ever eaten?
It definitely better than bass. It's better than I don't know. Fluke was good too. I liked Fluke a lot. It's 100% better than the one from the store, no doubt. Because we had this idea we could compare, the store ones, and it's shaking. I can see it from here.
I'm tired. All right.
All right, give me.
Here
I'm
it
just
is.
saying,
You
my
want me to
opinion so far from what we made, from all the fishes we cooked, that's the best one.
Okay.
That's my honest opinion. Let me.
All the fishes.
I know. Aren't you
That is
excited?
that is the plural of fish.
An entire country was founded, built on this fish. I mean, come on.
According to that Kaminsky guy, there is, if you're interested,
Scumbria recommends.
there is a book called COD. It's written by a man, I think his last name, it's not Kaczynski, it's not Ted Kaczynski, that is the Unabomber.
Is that what he wrote first?
What, Ted Kaczynski? Yeah, first Ted Kaczynski wrote this book COD, and then he wrote, no, there's a book called COD, and I think the guy's name is Kaczynski, it's with a K, SKI at the end. It's a really good book, and basically it tells how the founding of this. He makes it to say how the only reason the United States was founded was because of exploration and COD and whatever. It's a good book. It's entertaining. His thing about that's the reason the whole world was founded on COD, that's dubious, because his next book is called Salt, and then he tries to make the same claim, but that's not important. Hey, if you're out there, Mr. Kaczynski or Kazimski, put in the comments a little hate mail. We'd love that.
Well, and cod.
Salt, and then
he was consistent.
Yes, true. And then he's going to make a third book called Salt Cod, which is a totally different thing.
Salted cod.
Yes. All right, so. Oh yeah, I got to
You haven't.
Good grief, we are making a meal out of this video.
Well, honestly, it's very good fish. You should try.
If I'm going to get worms.
Maybe that's why it's so good, because it had no worms.
No,
See how
that's good
juicy it
cod.
is?
It's very juicy.
Super fresh.
Some people say it's quantity, not quality. The fact that we only got one, it's the quality and the quantity. All right, I'm just going to end now. This concludes our cod fishing shenanigans video. We made it home safe. We had a great time.
Thank you for watching till the end.
Yeah, thank you. We enjoyed the fish. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
Before we sign up, give them the option to watch one of our videos.
Oh yeah, watch another one of our videos. Perhaps you'd like to watch this one. This side? You actually this one, where we made a homemade shark cage. That's my personal favorite.
All right. Have a good one, everybody.